Hello, friends. Why is that the deepest wounds in our lives are rarely caused by strangers, but by the people we trusted the most? The ones we defended in front of others, the ones we felt safe with, the ones we never imagined would hurt us. Psychologically speaking, betrayal does not come from distance, it comes from closeness. And today we will explore through the lens of psychology why the people we trust deeply are often the ones who disappoint us, abandon us, or betray us. This is not a motivational speech. This is not a motivational advice. This is deep psychological explanation of human behavior, trust dynamics, and emotional blind spots. Trust is not just a feeling, it is a psychological investment. In psychology, trust is not blind faith, it is an emotional investment. When we trust someone deeply, we unconsciously do three things. Number one, we lower our psychological defenses. Number two, we project safety onto the other person. And number three, we attach part of our identity to them. This means betrayal hurts not because of what they did, but because we handed them access to our emotional core. A stranger cannot betray you. Only someone with emotional access can. The more you trust, the more power you give. Psychologists describe trust as an expectation that others will act benevolently. But here's the uncomfortable truth: trust always creates power imbalance. The person you trust knows your weakness, knows your fears, knows your emotional triggers, and knows what will hurt you most. Most people don't misuse this power intentionally at first, but power tests character, and not everyone is emotionally mature enough to handle it. Why strangers rarely hurt us, but close people do? From a psychological perspective, betrayal requires intimacy. A stranger has no access to your emotional expectations, cannot violate your inner world, and cannot break a promise you never made. But a trusted person knows your emotional rules, knows your boundaries, and knows what loyalty means to you. And betrayal is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is subtle. Emotional withdrawal, priorities shifting, and silence where care once existed. Psychology calls this relational dissonance, when behavior no longer matches emotional contracts. Attachment styles, the invisible root of betrayal. One of the strongest explanations lies in attachment theory. People develop attachment styles early in life: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. Many betrayals happen because one person attached deeply, the other panics under emotional closeness. For avoidant personalities, intimacy feels suffocating, responsibility feels threatening, and expectations feel like loss of freedom. So, when emotional closeness increases, they don't communicate, they escape. And to the trusting person, that escape feels like betrayal. We trust based on who we are, not who they are. This is crucial. Psychologically, we trust others through self projection. If you are loyal, you expect loyalty. If you are honest, you assume honesty. If you would never betray, you believe they would not either. This is called the false consensus effect. We assume others think and feel like us, but they don't. And betrayal often happens not because the other person is evil, but because we misunderstood their emotional capacity. Emotional dependency increases betrayal risk. The more emotionally dependent we become, the more we ignore red flags. Psychology shows that emotional dependency reduces critical thinking. Fear of loss overrides logic, and attachment clouds judgment. We don't trust blindly, we choose not to see. And when betrayal happens, we feel shocked. Not because the signs were not there, but because we refuse to interpret them correctly. Some people benefit from trust until they don't need it. Another harsh psychological reality. Some people value you only as long as you serve a role. That role could be emotional support, validation, stability, resources, or attention. Once their needs are fulfilled or replaced, their behavior changes. Psychology calls this instrumental attachment. Relationships based on utility, not emotional responsibility. When the benefit ends, loyalty ends with it. Betrayal is often about their limitations, not your worth. This is where healing begins. Betrayal is rarely proof that you trusted the wrong person. More often, it is proof that you trusted beyond their emotional maturity. You expected depth from someone shallow. You expected consistency from someone unstable. Their betrayal reflects their fear, their insecurity, and their emotional immaturity, not your value. Why betrayal changes us permanently? Psychologically, betrayal creates hypervigilance, emotional withdrawal, and reduced trust capacity. Your brain learns closeness equals danger. That is why after betrayal, you love less freely. You test people silently and you keep emotional distance. This is not weakness, it is psychological self protection. How to trust again without losing yourself. Healthy psychology does not say never trust again, it says trust slowly, observe behavior, not words. Separate closeness from dependency and maintain emotional boundaries. Trust should be gradual, conditional, and responsive to actions, not blind, not desperate, and not self sacrificing. Conclusion. The people who hurt us the most are often the ones we loved the deepest. Not because love is a mistake, but because love reveals truth. Trust does not destroy us, unbalanced trust does. And the lesson is not to become cold, but to become aware. Because emotionally intelligent people don't stop trusting, they stop over trusting. If you like this video, share with your loved ones and hit subscribe button YouTube Trade Sense channel. Thank you.